Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the Capers Business Ventures Connect podcast. We'd love for you to subscribe and looking forward to your reviews of our episodes. If you're interested in becoming a guest on our podcast, we'd love to have you. So please visit us at cbbservices.com/podcast, and we'll be in touch. We're glad you're here, and we're ready to get started. Ever had somebody who inspired you so much you just wanted her to come back and talk again? Well, you're in luck because we have my friend. She's here, so let's connect. Well, hello, everybody, and thank you for taking the time to visit with me at the Capers Business Ventures Connect podcast. I'm your host, Mel Capers, and I'm excited and delighted to be here with you. Let me start by giving pause and give thanks to my great creator for just allowing me another opportunity to do his will on this side of heaven. I also want to thank my great friends, Tasha and Kevin White. They are co-founders of Vanguardian Global. They are doing incredible things at Vanguardian Global. You need to go and check them out. Please do so by visiting their website at vanguardianglobal.com. I also want to take this time to shout out my great friend. She is Corliss Udwana. She is the president of Agape Love and Action Incorporated, a nonprofit organization that she established for veterans to help veterans out. Right now, you can get a veteran calendar by going to her website, agapeloveandaction.com. Also want to shout out another friend. She is Ronalda Sullivan, founder and chief executive of Dream Differently. Dream Differently is a company she founded for mothers with children with autism. She's doing great things there, and you need to check her out. Please go by her website, dreamdifferently.org. And I am so happy to have my guest today, who is a repeat guest, and she is just a dear, dear friend. I am so happy she has taken the time again to come by and visit with me. She is Ericka Kelly. She is founder and chief executive of Ericka Kelly Enterprises. I am glad to call her my friend, and I'm glad she's here with us. So please get ready to meet my good friend in the meet and greet segment, Ericka Kelly. So here we are with my good friend again. I must tell you, I had to have you back. I had to have you back because since the last time we spoke, I've had many people come to me and said, who was that one guest you had? Matter of fact, I had a good friend of mine, a retired Marine Corps Sergeant Major. He told me that when he listened to your episode, he stood up and he saluted your voice. Ladies and gentlemen, my great friend, Ericka Kelly. Ericka, how are you?
I am doing fantastic. Oh my gosh, that story is so humbling. So humbling. Melvin, it is a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to talk to you again.
It's always a pleasure to be in your presence, be it virtually or when we are actually in the same room, because that room and the screen is always lit up when you're there. So I thank you for taking the time to be here. Know you're a busy lady, and I'm not going to ask you some of the same questions that I asked on the previous episode, but I do want to do something here a little bit interesting. I want to reflect on our conversation then. So, what I'm going to do is bring in those questions and how you answered those questions because I think I remember asking you originally on the previous episode, who is Ericka Kelly? And this is how you responded. Take a listen at this. Let's find out. Ericka, who are you?
Melvin, that's, it's so simple. Like, who are you? Tell me who you are. But for me, it has different layers. So let me start by just sharing with you and the audience that I'm a mom. I have been a single mom since my little one, who is 22 now, was maybe 6, 7 years old. And so, who am I? I am a mother first.
Mhm.
I am a business owner. I am a 32 plus year Air Force veteran. And navigating through the Air Force, through active duty and reserve time, I was also able to serve the nation, if I can say that, working for the Department of Justice and working for the Department of Homeland as a special agent. Different hats. So when people say, "Who are you?" I don't pause because I don't know. I pause because I have been blessed to wear different hats and navigate those hats in different platforms, in different roads with their own obstacles. Well, can I just share a
Sure.
story about me being 5 years old? Okay, so this is Erica when she was little. I was a happy kid, Melvin. Grew up. So, talking about who am I? Well, I'm also an immigrant to the United States. And I was born in Guatemala, Central America. And at 5 years old, oldest of three, I had two brothers. And Melvin, I talk about this all the time because it's so significant to me that I can still remember it today. I remember how that warm tropical rain felt when my two brothers and I would play outside. And I also remember how horrific things changed for the three of us when my mother left us,
Mm.
and how she locked the door of that um, decrepit, let me underline, decrepit little shack that we lived in. She locked the door from the outside, and she locked uh, myself and my two brothers. So, a place that I can describe as my safe zone, my safety, one day became very dark, very ugly, and a trap the next. We were in that room, Melvin, for 7 days.
Oh, wow.
7 days. Our grandmother rescued us. And when she did so, guess what she did? She took us to her little decrepit shack
Mm.
to help us. So I don't, Melvin, I don't have the foundation of a father. I don't have the foundation of a mother, but I do have the foundation of a very strong grandmother
Mm-hmm.
who, um, I'm telling you, muddy roads, uh, ants. We ate ants, my brothers and I, to survive. So the woman that locked the door behind her
Yeah.
left us, made it. Now I know this, right? Made it to California. She remarried and had a little 1 year old, which now I know, I have a sister.
Yeah.
But because of the earthquake being so huge and making the news in the United States, she
Mm-hmm.
went back, not telling her husband, Melvin. She told her husband she was going to see her mom. never telling that she had three
Oh
kids.
my God. Wow.
This is like a soap opera,
Wow.
Melvin. So there she is, my mother. I don't recognize her. I don't. She really disappeared from my memory.
Hmm.
And my grandmother had to sit the three of us and say, "This is my daughter." And I'm thinking to myself, "Oh, I have an older sister."
Oh wow. That's
Melvin, I didn't remember
oh
her.
wow.
I
Oof.
didn't remember her.
Hmm.
So then my grandmother goes, "She's my daughter, and she's taking you away to the United States."
Mm.
I didn't want to come. Am I blessed here, Melvin? Of course. Uh, we just talked about being a special agent and being a chief in the Air Force. Okay. I didn't want to come, Melvin. And what ended up happening in that journey is that because her husband didn't know, we walked.
Mm.
We walked from Central America all the way to the border. And then we crossed the border in a car. My mom saying, "Be quiet, say nothing." I I remember, Melvin, bright lights. The car stops, bright lights. My eyes barely open, and I see this, I want to say, handsome, beautiful man, right? Dressed all in green.
Hmm.
And the only thing, Melvin, that I could stare at was his beautiful blue eyes.
Mm.
Melvin, it was my first time. And I know that it sounds crazy. Maybe on TV, when I knew that TV existed, but TV was black and white. It was, but Melvin, that was my first experience of having another human really close to me that looked different than me.
So when you hear yourself talk about growing up and the way you grew up in Guatemala, how does that make you feel just listening to that?
Melvin, this is a very reflective question, because as I hear my own voice tell the story, I feel the emotion differently. It's my voice, it's my story, but the way that I hear it now is it hits me a different way. Um, I almost get to the point of being that young girl again and really putting myself. I think last time when I was telling my story, I was telling you my story. But today, as we're reflecting back, I am really putting myself into the shoes, in the little body of that little person going through all those things. It feels different, Melvin, to reflect uh, that conversation with you before.
How do you feel when people look at you and think that you're a hero? Which I do. I think you're a hero. I mean, how does that make you feel when people look at you and said, "Oh my God, you're a hero"?
So you said, me being a hero. Oh my gosh. Do I see myself as a hero? No, I don't see myself as a hero, because everything that I have done has been a struggle. What I do appreciate and what feeds my soul is when someone that I might not even know comes to me and says, "Thank you. You changed my life, because when you said whatever I said, my life pivoted, my life changed because of those words." So if my actions, if my struggles, if my landing on my face so many times helps someone, and that someone can say that I am a hero, then that's pretty amazing.
And
That's pretty amazing, Melvin.
do you miss being in the? I mean, I know you never really left the Air Force, but do you miss putting on the uniform and being that chief?
I miss a uniform for sure. Um, I miss the people, but I do miss the magnitude, the amazing platform that I had to help. Melvin, I had a voice in rooms where it wasn't really I had a voice. The enlisted force that I represented had a voice because I was in the room. I miss that, but I also know that the people that have that role now are doing a great job, and they're doing the best that they can. So me missing the uniform it's not because of the position or title. I'm missing the uniform because the uniform, I didn't have to say I was in the military. Just by looking at the uniform, you looking at me, you knew that I was in the military. That's the little piece that I'm missing. But I'm still connected, Melvin. I just finished a master class in communications that I always give complimentary to military members. And there was 70 people. I mean, 100 people signed up and 70 people showed up. And I'm connected to my family.
That's incredible. And when you said masterclass, that masterclass was as a John Maxwell advisor.
Well, sure, because I used his book, Everyone Communicates, Few Connect, but I didn't use it as a mastermind. I didn't use it as the traditional mastermind of having 8 or 10 people and you go in depth into it. This was amazing, Melvin. It was 5 weeks. And I called it a master class because there was, 50 plus people in the room. And all those 50 plus people with different positions, different ranks, different backgrounds, different ways of thinking of life. And I was able to combine that amazing message of, from Dr. Maxwell and diversity, equity, and inclusion together. So it was a mix of a lot of things, a mix of my experience as a major command chief in that military room, plus the license that you and I hold as diversity, equity, and inclusion instructors, plus what we know from Dr. Maxwell when it comes to being able to truly connect with someone and not just communicate.
And I know you've been doing amazing things with the Maxwell team. And you know what? Let's talk about that in our next segment, On the Horizon. You ready to get on the horizon?
Of course.
Let's do it. Well, here we are on the horizon with my great friend Ericka Kelly, and I'm going to take you to where she's been because she's been doing some incredible things lately. And Ericka, if you will, please just talk about your trip that you recently came back from and tell us what else do you have on the horizon?
Well, a significant trip that I took last November was to the Dominican Republic. And I say incredible trip, amazing, life-changing for one single factor, which goes back to what we have been talking about when it comes to being persistent and being resilient. The Dominican Republic is an amazing environment, hungry for knowledge, hungry for education. And Melvin, they impressed me so much. The way that the relationship between male and female in the work area, the respect that they show towards each other, the diverse culture in which at least I did not see what we talk about in the United States of when we look at gender and when we look at race. It was beautiful to see how different races speaking the same language, Spanish, and different genders work together to push their goals, their missions, their dreams forward. So the role that I took in the Dominican Republic was to be part of a John Maxwell team to transform a country. The whole team, John Maxwell, was invited by the president of the Dominican Republic. And we were there to go to businesses. We were there to go to neighborhoods and talk about what true leadership is. Not being a dictator, not being bigger, not being a male, all those things that sometimes different cultures hold on to from cultural traditions. So it was amazing. I got to teach, oh my gosh. Okay, I mean, I'm bragging now, but I went to a medical university and I was teaching leadership to PhDs, to the professors of the university, to the doctors of the university. And then I go to a cigar and cigarette factory, and I'm talking to the workers, I'm talking to the CEOs. It was an incredible transformational trip, hopefully for them, for sure for them, but also for me. And I say this because the Dominican Republic, Hispanic, I don't know if it's third world, but it is a poor country. I come from a poor country. So here I am remember that kid that was eating ants and birds. And I end up at the Pentagon, and I circle back and I finished my career as a law enforcement special agent. And now I'm a coach and I'm a trainer. And then I get to go to a Hispanic country and be part of their transformation, their legacy of how they're going to themselves change the world. Incredible, yeah?
Absolutely. I'm in awe. I'm just, honestly, I knew about that trip and I said, well, I don't think I can offer anything. Let's just be honest. I was a little bit intimidated. I didn't think that I was good enough as a John Maxwell team member to be able to help. And so I said, well, that must not be for me. And when I found out that you were going to be a part of that, I said, absolutely. She will be a part of that and she will make a difference. So I'm so glad to hear everything went well there. And I was checking out the dynamics of what was going on in the releases that were coming out. So yeah, you guys did a great job, and I missed out, but I never will again. If it's time to go somewhere, I'm going to be on that plane, and I'm going to be doing it. I'll be in seat C wherever you are. So, what else?
I'm a window kind of person, so I will be in seat C as well.
Okay. So, what else do you have on the horizon? Some other trips you're getting ready to go on?
I am doing a couple of presentations. Women's Day, I'll be in hopefully in San Antonio, Texas. And then I am celebrating, I can't wait, go to Charleston and do a few trainings and do a keynote for the 315th, which is a reserve wing out there. So it's going to be amazing to just be with my peeps. And then I have a speaking event in Orlando, Florida coming up, which will allow me to also attend the John Maxwell conference. It's very close together. Oh, and in April, oh my gosh, Melvin, April, I am going to England. I'm going to be about an hour northwest of London with Christian Simpson. And I don't know if you know who Christian Simpson is, but he is my coach. And I'm just going to get goodness out of that man and his training. So it's going to be pretty amazing.
Wow, you've got a schedule full of events. This is fantastic. I mean, you're all over the country and all over the world. That is,
Yes,
see, a lot of folks don't realize that you live in California, right?
I do. I
What
do.
part of
Yes.
California do you live?
Long Beach, Southern California. It's, not to brag, but right now it's maybe 72, 73
You're
degrees.
bragging. You're bragging. Yeah, and that's good.
A little, a little.
A little. That's fantastic. The weather here is nice too, but it's not 70 degrees, so it's great. That is fantastic, and I get to see you. I think in at the Maxwell International, was it the International Maxwell Conference (IMC) down in
IMC,
August
yep.
and in Orlando. So I can't wait to see you again. We always seem to have a lot of fun down there, and I would advise anybody who's listening in, you need to become a John Maxwell team member, right? Isn't that wouldn't that be the way to go?
Yeah,
Um,
they need to call us so we can tell them the secret.
Absolutely. I mean, I've met so many amazing people around the world, and that's what's so incredible is that you can be speaking to someone from Africa, from Canada, from Italy, or wherever. It's
Yeah,
around the world, and everybody is like family, and that's what I love about John
yeah,
Maxwell. I
yeah.
mean, I feel like I knew you for, oh, I did. I knew you forever because you wore the uniform as I did. So we're related, you
We
know.
are.
And
We're brother and sister for
brothers and
sure.
sisters. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Hey, listen, I want my audience to know how to connect with Erica Keller. We'll do that in the next segment. So you ready to get to the connect?
I think so.
Let's do it. So, how do we get in touch with my good friend Erica Kelly, who owns Erica Kelly Enterprises? What are some of your social media, your telephone number, your fingerprint? How do we connect with you?
Oh, you said telephone number. Melvin, my personal cell, and I give it to the
No,
world.
no,
I'm
don't give.
telling you, I have done it for years, years and years. 562 685 2645.
Wow.
I've done it for years. And so my phone number is not a secret to anyone. No one. My website, it's ericakellyenterprises.com. So pretty simple. And you can find me on LinkedIn and also Facebook.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the type of person she is. She gave out her phone number, Erica. Erica, now's the time. We've got a little bit of more time here that I ask my guests if you want to shout anybody out. Now's a good time to shout out some good people that you want to shout out. Who do you want to shout out?
Oh my goodness. I want to shout out, her name is Christine Lane Smith. She lives in Canada. And she and I, you know how we sometimes need someone that can be a step in front of us so we can go, okay, I can do it too. And then sometimes we're a step ahead of them. And so that's Christine and I. We just met last year. So my shout out is to Christine Lane Smith, who is a collaborator, my business partner, in a way that we're, if I can say it here, changing the world
Absolutely.
one person at a time when it comes to self-growth, development. The two of us, Melvin, host a free Zoom call every other Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And she's a coach, I'm a coach. She's diversity, equity, and inclusion. I'm diversity, equity, and inclusion. And we have a room of people. Anybody's welcome into that room. And we mentor, we coach, we help. So my shout out is to Christine Lainsmith.
Absolutely. Wow. There she is doing it again. She does it every moment she's awake. And when she's sleeping, she's thinking about what can I do to help somebody else? My hero, don't care what you say about it, my hero, Ericka Kelly. Ericka, I can't tell you how proud I am to be in the same space with you, and proud I am to do it like John Maxwell. I am your friend. I'm so happy to call you my friend.
I am your friend, Melvin.
My thanks to my good friend, Ericka Kelly. Thank you so much. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day until we meet again.
Absolutely, Melvin. I cannot wait.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
We'd love for you to subscribe to our podcast, Capers Business Ventures Connect. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. So please like, share, subscribe, and leave a review. You can also find us on social media. We're on Facebook and LinkedIn at Capers Business Ventures, and on Instagram and Twitter, you can find us at CBV Services. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.